Today, it's time to get schooled. And speaking of today, did you know that on this day, April 22nd, 1930, the London Naval Treaty, an historic effort to avoid war, was signed by the United Kingdom, Japan, and the United States? Make no mistake, the war to end all wars was not a throwaway line. Using every measurement, World War I was devastating to the political, economic, and social makeup of the global community. The London Naval Treaty was not a token effort. Its aim was to make war less likely. The London Naval Treaty sought greater cooperation among nations in terminating naval competition. It hoped to improve relations between both allies and foes, and it hoped to bring about reductions in tonnage, a reduction in military hardware. A press release from the negotiations seems now like an understatement. We approach old historical problems from a new angle and in a new atmosphere. There had been previous like-minded naval treaties, and there would be more. They followed in the spirit of another treaty, the Kellogg-Briand Pact of 1928, which pledged to avoid military solutions to international conflicts. These treaties were often criticized for being worthless pieces of paper. What would you expect from the generals and their investment pals? What seems to be the powerful lesson of this little tale is that Nixon was right. Idealism without pragmatism is impotent. Pragmatism without idealism is meaningless. Warmongers, militarists, extremists, and radicals have made us all cynical about negotiating for peace over showing physical force. The resources expended globally on military budgets should cause all of us to pause. In the United States alone, our military budget is approaching $1 trillion. Yet people complain about debt and welfare payments to the poor, all the while we underfund our schools. William Jennings Bryan, Woodrow Wilson's Secretary of State, was the only avowed pacifist to hold that diplomatic office. He attempted to talk to our enemies rather than using threats via an all-too-easy arms race. Frankly, I miss such idealism. Pragmatic solutions abound if only we had the courage to imagine a new angle and a new atmosphere. Psst, it's Prologue with MR.REVIEW. It's a podcast that is actively digging tons of earth to find an ounce of gold, striving for a more perfect union.